Well, hello gardeners, it's autumn and the roses are blooming, and there's really no better time to visit Dawson's and look at our magnificent autumn roses. The advantage you've got of buying roses in autumn is that you're seeing the roses in their true rich colour. The light's a little bit more gentle, and you're really seeing the full richness and beauty of Dawson's roses as they should be viewed in autumn. And it's also a fantastic planting time because in autumn we've got still fairly mild days. The soil temperature is still reasonably warm. It's a great time for planting and getting roses established before winter. And just look at these beauties. This is what you can sort of expect. Roses grafted on our Fortuniana rootstock can live for up to 50 years, and they'll reward you with beautiful blooms like this year in, year out. But let's go and have a look at some of the real beauties we've got flowering this autumn. Okay, well, this white rose probably doesn't need any introduction. It's one of the world's most loved roses. This is the Floribunda Rose Iceberg, and it's really just an amazing rose. It's been around for a long time, one of the most widely planted roses in the world, and it's easy to see why. It just flowers so heavily. It's a very healthy, disease-resistant rose. Can get a bit taller than most Floribundas, can get up to about 1.5 metres in height sometime, but it really is vigorous to a fault. And for a white Floribunda rose, remember Floribunda roses means lots and lots of flowers, and you can't beat Floribundas for sheer garden show and colour. And but if you want a white Floribunda, you can't go past Iceberg. Okay, now you're sure to be seduced by this one. This is Floribunda Seduction, and it sure is seductive. You've got this beautiful sort of cream base colour, and then the flower is basically this lovely sort of pastel coral pinks that sort of filter out towards the petal edges, giving this lovely sort of bicolour effect. It is a very popular Floribunda for obvious reasons. It's just beautiful, a real favourite with the ladies, and I'm sure whoever you are, you're going to be seduced by Seduction. Now this is another Floribunda. It's a beautiful bicolour rose. This is called Shady Lady, and it's one of my favourites because of this lovely sort of bicolour appearance. You've got this sort of candy pink on the outside of the petals and this sort of white centre. And the interesting thing about Shady Lady is that it's been bred to perform particularly well in semi-shade areas. You can equally plant it in a full sun area. It's got a lovely sort of cottage garden appearance to it. Tends to have these very large clusters of flowers, and I think it's just a brilliant Floribunda. So remember, Shady Lady. Now this is a rose that I really love. It's a Floribunda called Sachmo, and it's got this gorgeous sort of scarlet sort of red colour, and it's a great rose because it seems to be a very busy rose. It seems to be always in flower, or else it's putting on the next flush of flowers. It's a beautiful rich colour, and it's often used in combination with something like, say, the white Floribunda Iceberg, or French lace or Edelweiss, to give that beautiful sort of red and white effect. But it really is a marvellous rose, in either the bush form or also a standard form. So if you want a lovely scarlet red, heaps of flowers, Seduction's a pretty good choice. Our favourite sort of yellow or golden Floribundas, it's one called Freesia, and it's a really lovely Floribunda because it's a little bit unique where it has quite a sculptured shape for a Floribunda, so it's actually a very good picking rose as well as a good garden show rose. And also this Freesia has also quite a lovely, it's got quite a nice sweet fragrance as well, so it's a bit of an all-rounder. It's a lovely picking rose, beautiful in the garden, and a beautiful scent. So that's Freesia, one of our best golds. Okay, so here we have one of the most famous hybrid tea roses of all. Of course, a hybrid tea rose is your common long-stemmed garden rose, and these are ideal for picking and enjoying inside. Mr. Lincoln is one of the classic red roses, and it's also deliciously fragrant. Actually, so fragrant, this is one of the few roses that has been awarded the James Alexander Gamble Medal by the American Rose Society. And that's a special award. They only award to roses very infrequently. Only about 26 roses have won it since about 1963. And they award it to garden roses that are outstanding growers, as well as having a uniquely strong fragrance, and Mr. Lincoln is one of those roses that's won it. So with Mr. Lincoln you're getting a really elite, beautiful, sweet fragrance. And you can see, look at the size of those stems, it gives you beautiful long stems for cutting, so it's a lovely one for you know, impressing your friends, taking inside and enjoying in the garden and also in the house. Okay, and here's one for Mum. This is another lovely hybrid tea. It's called Mother's Love, and again, one of our most favourite roses. Always popular around Mother's Day, but it's popular all year round, and you can see why. This lovely sort of coral white, and it's overlaid with this lovely sort of pastel pink towards the petal edges, and sometimes as the flower ages you'll get a little bit of a pink wash through the whole flower, or even a little bit of a pink apricot blush in the middle. But it is a gorgeous rose, generally lovely long stems again, so another good cutting rose. So, you know, if you want something for Mum or just a rose for any special occasion, you can't go past Mother's Love. Right, so here we've got another very fragrant pink hybrid tea, and this is called Perfume Passion, and as the name would suggest, it has an absolutely delicious sweet fragrance. And this is a very special rose. Actually, in the year 2000, Perfume Passion took out Best Hybrid Tea Rose and also Most Fragrant Rose at the Australian Rose Trial Gardens in Adelaide. So Perfume Passion really has a very, very good fragrance, and one that's going to keep you coming back for more and more. As well as that, it's just a gorgeous rose. It's got this lovely sort of, you know, very full petal-packed flower that sort of, you know, it's a bit reminiscent of old-fashioned roses, and it's just delightful. As well as that, it's a very vigorous, strong grower, throws up some good, strong canes, lovely in the garden and in the vase. I think it's one of the very best new introductions we've had in the last couple of years. So if you're looking for fragrant roses, this is absolutely up there with the best, Perfume Passion. If you're looking for a really long-lasting cut flower, I don't think you can go past this shrub rose called Gallipoli. It's a very special rose. It was released in 2015 to mark the centenary of the Gallipoli landings of 1915, and it's a gorgeous scarlet red shrub rose. What's a shrub rose? Well, it's basically the same as a floribunda rose. This is a very bushy rose in habit. It's going to grow to about 1 metre or 1.2 metres high. But I think the real plus with this one is just the vase life. You can cut this, put it in the vase. These flowers will hold for at least a week, sometimes longer. They're just amazing. It isn't a fragrant rose, but I think it makes up for that in its very generous flowering habit and its super healthy glossy green foliage. So Gallipoli, it's a rose with a great story, a great tradition, and I think one you should have in your garden. Now, if there was a rose with a fragrance that was heaven sent, it would have to be Pope John Paul II, which is a lovely white hybrid tea, and I think it's the king of the white hybrid teas. It's got this lovely sculpted sort of form, and the fragrance is deliciously sweet. You'll get hints of citrus, you know, sweet fruits in there. Generally has quite a strong fragrance through the day, you know, particularly in the morning. But it's lovely. I think it's head and shoulders above all the other white hybrid teas out there. So it's heaven sent, it's Pope John Paul, and you should grow it. So autumn's a great time to get in and visit Dawson's and look at our beautiful roses, which I think by far Perth's best range of gorgeous fragrant roses. And one of the features of our rose collection you'll find in autumn is this premium or semi-advanced range size of roses. So these are in a 250mm pot, and you get a much larger plant for your money. So this is a, you know, as you can see, semi-advanced rose, you know, quite an established branching system. They really do give you quite a bit of impact when they're put in the garden. So these are from about $29.95 each. And the great thing, of course, is when you visit Dawson's and buy roses, you're buying from a rose growing tradition going back over 100 years. So there's really no better place to visit and buy roses. And of course, all our roses are Dawson grown and Dawson guaranteed. So happy gardening, get in, come in and smell the roses.